Hey everyone, it's Rhonda here from Nelson Soapery. Today, let's get into a video all about Inventora. It's an amazing platform that I'm really loving. I've been trialing it out, and basically it's an inventory system, and I think it is just perfect for the handmade products, especially candles, soap making, and so on. So today here, as you can see in front of me, I've been making these absolutely beautiful products. So here we have my whipped soap, and the thing when you're making things like this, you think, how am I going to price it? And we all sort of take a bit of a stab in the dark sometimes on the pricing, but don't do that. You can use a program like Inventora, and it's amazing. It will actually help you to calculate the product so that you know what you should be charging to get your worth in, and that's for retail, no matter what you're doing, whether it's retail, wholesale, it doesn't matter. But that's my favorite part of the program, and I'm going to show you today. I'll go step by step. We'll do a bit of a tutorial, and I'll show you how to log things into it and how easy it is. And I mean, you're going to laugh, but if I can do it, you can do it. Anyone can do this program, and it's just really amazing. Honestly, I've loved using it, and even though I've been trialing it, I would definitely be keeping the program because I just think it's so handy for all of us makers that kind of always stumble about what do we do, how do we price it, and all of these things, how do we keep that inventory. If you don't have another program like Shopify or something, often you think, how am I going to do it? And the great thing about this too is it actually talks to Shopify, if that makes sense. I always say it in layman's terms. I know they're not the real professional terms, but the best way to describe it is it can connect with Shopify. So when you sell a product, that comes off, your totals and so on that you're putting in this program. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into this amazing program and pop my new products into there. So now we are about to get onto Inventora, so I thought I would show you exactly how it looks. So this is the one we're going to be going on, and it's Inventora.com. So we'll just click onto this bit here and open up this program. So this is what it's going to look like at the start, so you can read all the information you want to read about it before you buy it or anything like that. So now what we're going to do is log in, because obviously I've already logged in because I've been testing this program as well. And honestly, I'm going to give you my honest opinion, what I think of the program, and that's what I always do. When I work with anybody and do collaborations, I'm always really honest on my opinions and what I think of the program. So let's start from the beginning. So you can see here I've already added my materials, and I'm going to show you how to do that, and you can see how many I've added. If it was hard, I wouldn't have done it, believe me. But it was really easy, like honestly so easy. So down the side here, this is where you're going to find everything you need. So, to add your materials, you go onto this heading. To add products and things like that, you're going to add in here. It can have your sales and so on. The great thing about this program is it actually works in conjunction with Shopify. And, most of us, or not most, but a lot of us do have Shopify accounts. So it's really good when you have programs that can talk to each other, and that way you don't need to do all the input. So you can literally go through this program and, like I said, attach your Shopify. So if you sell something on there, it will come off your inventory on here. And the great thing about this program is it's all about inventory, and we need to be able to keep check of this inventory, especially when we're getting to Christmas and things like that, because it's really stressful if you sell 10 things and you only have 8. So this will help you along the way. So now I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So we'll start from the beginning. So when you first go into this, usually you would add your materials, which if you're a soap maker, it might be shea butter, cocoa butter, sweet almond oil, all the things you're going to use. And if you're a candle maker, you would be adding in your wax, your containers, all the things you're going to add in, right down to the wicks, the stickers, the tags, because they all cost money. And it's really important that you do add in even the sticker that cost 8 cents, because 8 cents adds up if you sell 1,000. So, and you may think I'm not going to sell 1,000, but you never know where you're going to start and where you're going to end up. So, you just may get a client that wants to order a lot of products from you. So like I said, we're going to start from the beginning, adding the materials. So on the button here, so all you would push is materials here. So we'll just click on here. And as I said, you can see everything here because I've already added these in. And now what we're going to do is just push add. So let's just add something in here. So here we're going to be adding in the material. So on here, we're going to just add in what we want to call it. So if it was a container, you would put in a container. If it's shea butter, you would be putting in shea butter. So it's nice and easy, isn't it? It's really simple what we're going to be adding in here. So for this bit here, let's just write container, and I will write 100-gram container. And then we're going to write how many I have in stock of those, and I think I have 40 of those in stock. Make sure you check what you have in stock, obviously. Don't just write a random, because this is helping you, and if you write the wrong one, then you don't have the right ones, in your stock. So do make sure that you're counting everything, so and popping them in here as well. So, and these are in pieces. So down here, if this was like I said, like shea butter, for instance, and you want to put this in grams or pounds or ounces, depending, where you live, you might have different weights. And then you would pop that in. So for instance, if it was, we'll just pretend it's ounces, we would put ounces in, but it's not, it's pieces. So you can just go down the list here of, whether you want to do it in volume, whether you want to do it in pieces, and so on. So we're just going to say pieces because a container comes in pieces. And minimum here, this means how many of these, how many containers do you want to always have in stock? So if you want to have 5 at the least, you would put 5, and when you get down to 5, the program will actually put it in red. So you can see to the side here, I've got these ones in red, which means these ones are low and I need to order more. So it helps you know what you're going to order. So in here, I'm going to write, for instance, we want to keep 10 of these in stock at all times. So that's going to flag me when I get down to 10. So when I use 30 of these, it will flag 10 and tell you you need to get some more. So, and the next bit is the material type. It's sourced from a supplier. So if you click on here, then it will say, like, if it's a single product and you've made it, or if it's a batch and so on. Sourced by a supplier means, if you're going to get it from, say, Brambleberry, or if you're in Australia, you'll be getting it from Heirloom, Aussie Candles, and so on. So we're going to say it's from a supplier because that's where I order mine. And now it's going to be the cost per piece. So the cost that's going to cost you per each container, because we're popping in a container in here. So I know these containers work out to be $1.70, and that is with the lid. Now, if you think I can't calculate this, all you need to do is pop in this button here on the side, calculate, and then you would write on here, how many pieces did you buy? How much did it cost? You put your tax and everything, push save, and then it will actually tell you exactly the amount. So that's one bit that I really love about this. That has been very helpful, especially when I've been putting things in like shea butter. So when I buy my shea butter, I buy it in 20 to 50 kilo lots. So that is really good to calculate it right down to the gram. And that way, if you're only going to add in 8 grams, it will tell you that's how much it's going to cost. So that is really, really helpful. But for this, we're doing the containers. So the supplier, I've already listed people, and you can, of course, add them in here. So Heirloom is where I get it from. And, these are all bits that you're going to add in. So you would add suppliers in, you would add products in, and all of those things that you're going to add in here. But, of course, I've already done that. So, I thought today I'm really going to just show you the basics of it. And I know that I might be going through this basic, but I do know from other videos I've done, you guys are really have said you really love the tutorial of explaining it, very simply so that you can understand how to do it. Because some programs can feel overwhelming, but I promise you this program is not overwhelming. I mean, honestly, if I can do it, you guys can do it. It's really easy. It's very straightforward to understand. There's no tricks where you got to go through all these loopholes to get to the end. It's very, very easy. So like I said, we've popped in heirloom, and in the category here, if I wanted to choose a category here, I could choose one here. And this would just mean that I've created these categories. So if I have micas, they'd all be under colours and so on to make it easy. But we can just leave that. You can add in notes. So if you want to say this is for your small whip, you could just add that in. So now let's save it. So we're just going to push save on here. And this is going to pop it into the program. So you can see it's done all the work. It's popped everything in. So now once you would have all your materials, so pop all the materials that you have, then you can go and pop a product. And the great thing about this is going to tell you what you should be charging. And that's something I really love about this program. So we're going to write products. So let's just go into products and talk about how we're going to add in our products, because as we all know, we all make new things quite often and they need to go in this list. So in here, I'm just going to say that we're going to be making a whipped soap. So let's add it in. I've actually just made some more today. So in here, we're just going to write, exactly what it's going to be. And I'm going to write, actually I'll write Barry's daughter. And this one is one of my whips as well. So I'm just going to say Barry's daughter soap whip, because I have made that and I need to add that in here. And now, so the current stock level that I've just made is 12. I've made a batch of 12. So we're going to write what we actually have in it. We're going to keep this as pieces, because remember, we put in pieces before, and pieces mean, just like how many do you have? So, and how many physical items do you have? And we have 12 physical containers. So we'll leave that as pieces. And now the minimum is like, if you want to always keep 5, you would write in here, we want to always have 5 on the shelf. So when people order them, they're in there. And the same as I was talking about before, it will flag it red when it gets down to that. So you know, okay, I've got to go and make it. And it helps you to make it again too. So it's made by me in single batches, so we'll leave this product type here, but we could change this to whatever we want. There's all different options. So always just click on the button so that you can see the options that are available. So now production, this is where we get to the good stuff of being able to pop everything in. So now let's pop in what we're going to be using for this. So I'm just going to, you can type it or you can look down the list. And remember, this is where we've already added in the materials like I showed you at the start. So I've already added them in. So we're going to write heirloom soap whip if we're going to be using this. Now, we'll just write in here if we want to know how much we're going to be doing. So we'll keep it in grams. And this is saying per container. So if, for instance, we have a container that is 200 grams, so we're going to say here, this means how much of this product are you using. So if this whole container is 200 grams, you're not going to write 200. You're going to write how much of this did you use in this product. So I wrote 200 to show you. So we're going to say that our product has 200 grams in it, and we have used 170 grams of this particular soap whip. So we've added that in, and down here, can you see it's telling you that's this bit here is what it actually cost. So to use 170 grams per one, it's costing $2.96. So now we're going to add more in. Now for this one, I add in jojoba oil. So let's just add that one in, and there is 20 grams in it. So I'm going to write 20 grams of the jojoba oil in there. And now let's just add sweet almond oil. And, you can change this to whatever you want. So there you go. So it's in there. And now we're just going to write in here. So we've got 10 of that. And the last thing is the fragrance. So let's just write blueberry, for instance. And we're going to write, blueberry here is going to be 10. It's not going to be 10, obviously, everybody. So then, obviously this needs to equal up to whatever the product is. So remember, we already know that it should be 200 grams, so 170, so that becomes 80, 90, 200, so we've added too much. So this one here, we'll just change this. We'll say 5 in here, 5 in here, and we know that's what the product's going to be. So can you see down the bottom here, this is telling us $5.31. Now that is without the container. So if we've put a container, let's just go in here and I'll just type container and it's going to tell me. So we'll say, for instance, the 255 gram container. And then with the container and all of this, it's telling you already it's come to $7.61. And this is super important, everyone, because you know when we make products, we often think, oh, it's only worth $5, so you just put $5 on it. Well, if you just did that already, this has come to $7, so you know that your product, you can't sell this for $5. So, you know, if you were going to be selling this product that I've just listed in here, it's $7.61. You should times that by 2. And that should be the cost that you're going to charge. And that should be the cost for wholesale, and then times 4 should be what you are going to be charging. So I'm just going to pop it into my calculator, which is on my phone, which is just beside me. So I'm just going to add this in. So we'll say 7.61 times 4. So we should be charging $30.44 retail. That's generally what you should be charging, and half of that, which is just a bit over $15, you should be charging for wholesale. And I know you might think, well, that's too expensive, but I always say this, big companies don't think about that. Whatever it costs you to make it, you need to charge at least double. So please don't just charge $1. You need to charge double. Your time is worth it. And remember, when you're packaging things up, that also costs money. I haven't added labels or anything like that in here. But for this purpose, like I said, I really wanted just to show you how good this is to tell us exactly what this product is going to actually cost. Because I think that is a problem that lots of makers come into. They just don't know how to calculate it and how to figure it out. And I definitely didn't know that either. And, you know, honestly, it was always a big stress for me calculating it. And when I used this program, I thought, look, even if you used it just for this, it's valuable. It's so valuable to use it. So we're just going to save that. And so in here, this is going to prompt you as well. So it's going to say, did you make it? Because if you say yes, you want it to be added into your inventory as well. Or if it was no, then it just means adjust everything. So we'll just say yes, and we'll add that in to our products here. So now we have added it in, and that is the main part of this program. I mean, and you can go down here, you know, you can get reports, audits, you can pop customers in here. I mean, there's so many things that you can go into. But to start with, I wanted to just do a really quick and I know it's not super quick, but I wanted to show you how to add the materials in, how to also, like I said, put your purchases in, because those two things are what's really going to help you. It's going to help your business move forward, and it's going to help you calculate, know what you're charging, help with the cash flow, because all of this is a part of the cash flow and understanding that. So I hope this tutorial has helped you. I will bring more as I learn lots and lots more with Inventora, but at the moment I'm absolutely loving it, and I really do think it's such a valuable program, like I said, to help you with your cash flow, your numbers, your products, of course the inventory, and sales and so on. So if you loved my video, make sure you give me a massive big thumbs up, and I will see all of you on the next video. I will pop in all the links for Inventora down the bottom, and check it out, have a little bit of a look, and have a look around their site, do all the reading yourself, and of course your due diligence, as I always say. But for me, and I'm only talking for me, this has been a really, really good program, and a great learning curve for me to really see, you know, really fine details what the product actually does cost, right down to the last few cents. Anyway, see you next video, everyone. Bye for now.